All right, so let's get back to Revelation. We're talking about the king, and we were saying about him doing his own will, and I showed you how all that tied back into what was happening with the blasphemy of the Jews. Friend, the blasphemy of the Jews is a humongous doctrine. Humongous doctrine. It's similar to what you've seen just now with Peter and Barnabas and those Jews who were doing the right thing, and then they turned around and started doing exactly what God said don't do. It's the blasphemy of the Jews. And now you understand why they were doing what they were doing. Some of them was doing it maliciously. Okay, but Peter and the other Jews in Galatians, along with Barnabas, was doing it because, folks, it was hard for them to get over not doing it. All right. So God says, hey, look, he speaks blasphemies against the God of gods and shall prosper. And I showed you how sin prospers in Psalm 73. And I showed you its end. So while it may look like people are getting away with sin, forget it, man. No one gets away with sin. No one. Now, there's a passage in the book that says some people's sins are evident, meaning you can see what they're doing. They go to jail. They, pay a fine. They lose because they did something stupid, lose relationships. They do, so it's evident to us that they did something and they got caught and they've been punished for it. But God then turns around and says, others are going to be hidden until the day of judgment. And you can clearly see that God says that he's going to bring to light what? All the hidden things of the heart of men. What in the world is that? Your intent, your thoughts, your action. So it's a threefold judgment on everybody, believers and non-believers. Your intent is first. Your thoughts, how you manipulated that intent, and how you devised a plan to do the wickedness that you did, the sin. Friend, don't think you don't devise. Listen, every sin has an intent. Every sin has a thought behind it. Then the last thing that happened, it shows up in your actions. Yes, some of them are quick decisions because you've already plotted it in your heart. There's an intent, and you made a quick decision on a thought, and you moved on that. Others, you plot in advance, just like planning to go on vacation. God says, I'm going to bring all that mess to light. While the action may look good, the thought behind that action was malicious. The intent behind that action, what you really wanted the outcome to be, the manipulative mess behind those things. Folks, that's really what's going to be judged. The actions has repercussions because that impacts people. You see, that's the last thing that's going to be judged. The intent is the conception. The thoughts is the plan. The action is just the last thing that takes place. The actions, bring about the consequences. So if you intended to do something, thought about doing it, but the circumstances wasn't right, and you didn't do it, yet in the judgment, you're going to have to pay for that intent. You're going to have to pay for that thought. But you just didn't do it. But when the action happened, that action have consequences, and it impact the lives of others. Let me give you an example. And this is one I use all the time. This guy, Hugh Hefner, they call him the father of pornography, the Playboy guy. He had intent. He had thoughts to start an industry, a wicked, wicked industry. What was the last thing he did? He started that industry. And that industry has fed the world with filth. So he had an intent, that happened. He had a thought, it happened. Now he has to pay for every single person who is impacted by him moving forward with his wicked, filthy actions. Think about the billions of people this man's filled. One man. Think about the billions this man's filth have impacted. The lives of children raped because some man got a hold of some filth. Some woman got a hold of some filth. The fornication and adultery, just from looking at his mess. Folks, you gotta think, oh, I would not want to be him. People like Hitler. People like Constantine. See, Constantine? Yeah. The true father of the Roman Catholic Church. And all the billions of people that was impacted throughout history by that false pagan religion. Folks, this is serious business.